Hey, welcome back, students. We're excited to have you coming back from your summer break. Some important information we need to share with you as we're getting ready for school to start up in a couple weeks. Please make sure you read the email that's attached with this movie very carefully. Important information there about some dates and times. But the purpose, as the email stated, of this video is to give you a quick tutorial on how can you make your own schedule changes from home over the internet. Pretty exciting that we're going to have that opportunity for you guys this year. So let's get to it. This movie, this short video, will go through the steps of how to make those schedule changes. So here we go. Let's do it. So sophomores, before we jump into the nuts and bolts of how do I actually make the change, and we're going to be there in just a second, as you make adjustments to your schedule, if you need to, and the truth is most sophomores won't even need to make a schedule change. Our schedules ran really smoothly this year. As you looked at your schedule, probably everything you requested and asked for was there, and there's probably no need. Some of you may need to make a schedule change. If that's the case, and if you're adjusting things around, please, all sophomores, make sure these classes are in your schedule. You have to have an English 10 or an English 10 honors. You've got to have a math class. For most of you, that will be Math 2. For some of you in the Catalyst program, that might be Math 3. It could be Math 2 honors. You need a physical science. For most of you, again, that'll be physics with tech. You need a world history. Potentially that could be an AP world history. You need a PE skills class, or you need to be playing a school sport. If you don't have those classes in your schedule, you're not going to be on track for graduation. So make sure as you make your changes that those classes are in your schedule. So there's some other recommended courses. If in 9th grade you didn't do Business Office Pro or Exploring Computer Science, you'll need one of those two classes of computer literacy in your schedule. You need 1.5 credits of art, fine arts, and 1 full credit of CTE before graduation. You may have taken some of that in 9th grade. You might want to be looking towards finishing those two requirements up this year. And a lot of you will be taking your second year of a foreign language. So those are recommended, but these up here are required. Get those in your schedule. Make sure they are there. Now, one last thing. As I mentioned, a lot of you won't even need to make a schedule change, and that's great. So don't worry about it if you don't. Just leave your schedule like it is. Perfect. Don't need to watch this movie if that's you. If you're going to move forward and make those schedule changes, we're going to have that tutorial coming straight up. Just understand that the tutorial is based on a 9th grade schedule. We know you're sophomores. I know that the movie shows us changing around a 9th grade schedule. The way you change a sophomore schedule is exactly the same way you would change a 9th grade schedule. So just understand that we're showing you the process, we're showing you the steps, and I understand that your schedule is going to have 10th grade classes. Our test student for this video just happened to be a 9th grader. All right, let's get to it. Let's learn how to make those changes. How do you actually make that schedule change? You come to the SIS or the Aspire logon page. You've been using Aspire and SIS for years. You know how to get here. Get to the login page and log in. Right here, so we have our test student. It's called Wasatch Student. Your name will be up here, but yours will look almost identical to this, right? The first thing that comes up is your schedule. You can see your schedule for next year. It's right here. As we glance at this student's schedule here, I notice a few things. Here's their black day schedule. Here's their gold day schedule. So gold 1, math, gold 3, where's gold 2? Oh, it's up here. Gold 2 is an advisory class, right? Gold 4, gold 5. If I look closely, I notice there's no B1. This student's schedule didn't schedule completely correctly. There's no B1. Most of you won't have this issue, but you might. Now, after you glance at your schedule, gives you your classes, gives you your teachers over here. If you find over to the right-hand side your scheduling tab, you might have to scroll up or down a little bit to find it. Find the scheduling tab. We're going to get a different view of the schedule, and this is where you can actually make changes. On this view of the schedule, the fact that this student is missing their black one is a little more obvious. So as you look at the view of your schedule, this is all of the classes you have for the whole year. On the left-hand side of the screen are your semester 1 classes. On the right-hand side of the screen are the semester 2 classes. As we glance at this, you see there's a hole, black 1. There's pretty clearly a hole. This student is going to have to fix that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Advisory is a class that goes all year long, but every other class is only a semester long. English 9, first semester, you'll see an A. Any class that has an A will also have a B. This student has English 9B, which is second semester. Literacy 2A, somewhere, since there's an A, there should be a B. Oh, it's up here. Literacy 2B. All right, so any class that has an A has a B. If there's no A or B, Art Foundations, there's no way, it's just a semester-long class. So first semester they have Art Foundations, and then they have some other class, second half of the year, possibly Health. Okay, so that's how you read your schedule pretty easy. Every freshman must have a full schedule. That means B1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, first and second semester must be filled in. G1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, first and second semester must be filled in. Back to that hole. We've got to fix that. So one other thing before I show you how to actually change a class. Notice how some of the classes have a red X next to them. Any class that has a red X next to it, you have the ability to make a change to that class if you want to. Most of them you won't even want to or need to, but you have the ability to do so. Notice advisory. There's no red X. You can't change that class. This student is in a literacy class. Literacy 2, A and B, there's no red X. This student cannot change the literacy class. Any class without an X, you can't change. All right, so that's just kind of the background of what you're looking at before we start changing. Now to actually make a change, we come down here. We have a search bar that helps us find specific classes we're looking for. There's 2 tabs here. All, when I click that and my search bar is empty, it will show me all of the classes that are available for freshmen every single period. If I put in some search criteria, it'll show me all of the classes that meet that criteria. So if I put in the word, not even the full word English, ENGL, every class that pertains to English, and if I spelled the whole word, those are all the 9th grade possible English classes. If I click on requested and my search bar is clear, these are all the classes that this student requested. Now, look at that schedule real quick. Come down to the requested classes. Notice something with me. There's a Guitar 1 class that this student requested that isn't in the schedule. That's why there's a hole. This student didn't get their guitar class. So let's investigate this a little closer. Let's see why maybe they didn't get their guitar class. If I click on that guitar class, it's going to give me some specifics about it. It shows me the class period, G4, shows me the teacher's name, Mr. Riska. It shows me that it's a semester 1 class, and it shows me that there are 0 seats available. So there's 2 possible reasons that this student didn't get their guitar class. G4, this student has a fitness class. Maybe the computer couldn't figure out how to schedule that computer class because it's only available 1 period. Or maybe the student didn't get it because the class is full. Once a class is full, it's full, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? This student can't get into guitar because it's full. Now, if it wasn't full, there's a chance, G4, that maybe they could move that fitness class to another spot and get the guitar class in, but we know it's full, so this student can't have guitar. So how does this student now find an appropriate class for B1? If there's a class they really, really, really know they want, they can type that. We come back, get out of the requested, come back to all classes. Let's say that student really feels like maybe they want to be in an Art Foundations class. So we type in art. Let's type in a little bit more of that name. And you can search through the whole list if you want, if you don't even know it's available. Art Foundations, if I click on it, and remember, I'm looking for a B1, Black 1, Semester 1 class. There's a Black 1. Oh, look at that. There is a Black 1, Semester 1, and a Black 1, Semester 2 class for Art Foundations. This student's in luck. I want Art Foundations, Black 1, Semester 1, with 3 seats available. I can have the Art Foundations class I want. They would just click on that class and they'd get it. That was maybe a poor example because this student already has Art Foundations, but it still serves the purposes to see how you would find a class. Let's pretend like this student has no idea what they want. They just want to see what's available in Black 1. If they click on B1, I come down here are all the classes that are available, black one, first semester and second semester. So I'm just going to scroll through it. And the students, there's math. I already have my math classes. I've got my PE class. Woods. Wait, Woods sounds super interesting to me. Let me click on it. There is a Woods class, semester 1, and a Woods class, semester 2. They both have room available. I'm going to sign up for Woods. I click on the class I want after I've found it. And because there was a hole in my schedule, it just automatically put it in. This student could be done. All right? It's that simple. It's that easy. Now, it could be a little more complicated. Let's show you what happens if you want to move a class around. That gets a little more complicated. Okay? So this student is saying to themselves, let me think. I know I'm pretty sharp first thing in the morning, and as the day goes on, I lose focus a little bit. I would really love to have an English class first period instead of third period. Is that a possibility? Well, we can come down to this search bar. We clear it. We can type in English 9, and let's see what comes up. English 9A, so that's first semester. Look at that, black 1. There is Mrs. Wall, oh look, and Mr. Glick both have a semester 1, black 1, English 9, class available first semester. I'm going to try it out. I want to have that class. So I click on Mr. Glick's, and it shows me right here. English is going to replace Woods. Oh, well, maybe I can give up Woods, or maybe I can fit Woods in somewhere else. But English 9 is a priority to me. I click repeat. Don't click this unless you're ready, but I want to replace that class. Woods just got replaced by English 9 with Mr. Glick. Now, I haven't done anything with my English 9 for Mrs. Wall. I don't want 2 English classes for semester, so I can either find a new elective there. I can even see if there's a Woods available because I love that idea of Woods, right? So let's go to black 3. Let's see if there's a Woods class. There is no Woods black 3, so I would either need to move my English back and have it later in the day and keep Woods, or find a different elective. I'm just going to see what electives are available, see if there's something else that sounds great for me besides the Woods class. When you pick electives, we do really recommend that you pick things that are going to help you explore your interests and maybe some future career aspirations. As I come down, I see that I have a foods class. I've always thought that maybe I want to be a chef. Woods sounded super cool, but I've considered being a chef. B3, semester 1, there's a foods class. I click on it. Now it shows foods is going to replace English. I know I want to do that because I have 2 English classes, remember? Replace class. I come back up, and foods is now in my B3, and my English has been moved. Those are the basics of moving classes around. Now remember, if I click on a class and it shows it's full, it won't allow me to make that change. Miss Cummings, anything I'm missing that you can think of about the schedule? The only other thing I can think of is, don't click that red X, guys. If I click that red X, it will drop a class. We would much rather, and it works much better, to replace a class like I showed you in this tutorial. Just replace it with another class. Don't ever drop that X, and I'll explain very quickly why. If you drop that class, it's gone, and we've got 600 freshmen all scheduling at the same time. If you click it and you change your mind, oh, I think I want back into Mr. Glick's English class, somebody else may have taken your spot, and now you have to find something else. If you're replacing it, you will always have a class you want because you picked it. I think maybe that makes sense. Change classes the way I showed you, not by clicking the X to drop a class. Anything else to add, Ms. Cummings?
Just one thing. Mr. Dawes showed you a lot about how to navigate your schedule and replacing classes. You're probably wondering why it has a 0 period and a 6th period. Very, very few freshmen will be utilizing the 0 and 6th period. We want you to stay focused on periods 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just because 0 hour and 6th hour are reserved for mostly classes having to do with juniors and seniors. There's a few exceptions. If you want early morning seminary, that would be a 0 hour. If you're doing jazz band, that would be a 0 hour. If you're doing early morning weights, that's a 0 hour. So stay focused on periods 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't click on 0 or 6. That's all I would add.
Thanks, Ms. Cummings. All right, guys, please remember, you have to have a full schedule. There has to be something. Black 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, English 9 is a full year class. Is there an English 9 first semester and second semester? There is. Is there a math first semester, second semester? There is. Please go through that very closely. Make sure you have all the classes. There will be potentially, for a very select few of you, some needs for some face-to-face changes with a counselor. We anticipate that 95+% of all the schedule changes can be done during those schedule change days on a computer by yourself. Here are reasons why you might need to meet with a counselor. If there's a class that requires an audition, you have to meet with a counselor to get into it. So for example, one that comes to mind really quickly would be Dance 3 or Dance Company. You can't get in without an audition. If you've done the audition and you know you want to be in there, come talk to us and we'll help you get in. Some students want to do an online or an e-school class. If you are adamant that that is going to be the best thing for you and you know that's going to work out for you, you can't add an e-school class or an online class to your schedule. You will need to come meet with a counselor and they'll show you how to sign up for an e-school class and they will make that schedule change for you. The last thing that comes to mind that we may need a face-to-face change for would be a modified schedule. So for example, maybe you're a homeschool student who only has a few classes during the day at Wasatch High. Those kind of modified situations, a student would need to come meet face-to-face with a counselor. Some of the reasons that you really wouldn't need to come talk to us, classes are full. If a class is full for you, it's full for us. We can't overfill classes either. My best advice would be during those 3 days when schedule changes are open, if you see a class is full, check back an hour later, check back later in the afternoon. Somebody may have dropped it, it might open up. But meeting with a counselor won't change the fact that a class is full. If you want classes with friends, if you want to change the order of your classes, you want to be together with somebody that you know you have a good relationship with, so you feel comfortable in classes. We're not telling you can't change classes for those reasons, but it wouldn't be a reason for a face-to-face change with a counselor. That's something you would do during those 3 days on your own. So students, that's it. That's what it takes to make a schedule change. It's not super complicated, but with this tutorial, we know you can do it. Feel free to refer back to this video to watch it over again, to rewind to the sections that you need to. But with the help of this tutorial, you should be able to make the changes to your schedule. And we look forward to having you back here really soon. Enjoy the last little bit of your summer, and thanks for listening.